Welcome to another edition of Let's Play WWE 2015. We are 2 weeks away. I apologize. A week. Actually, no, 2 weeks away. Yeah, 2 weeks away from Survivor Series. I'll think about that and get back to you. I'm not sure. Right now, the build continues with every championship, every title being decided one way or another. Once again, due to timing, the time that it takes to make or put together a 2-hour broadcast, I chose to take it a different way, and I chose to once again start it, and then start the video. And now, and you can also see that it is getting a little bit deeper. I mean, a little bit bigger. A little bit more. Let me explain what I'm trying to say. And what I'm trying to say is that you can't see the back end of the show because it's cut off. Because the important part of the show isn't the planning stage, it's the stage that you see everything in front of you, and you don't have to see it here as you're gonna see it again. Eventually, anyway. But as you can tell, Triple H and the McMahon's feud with Brock Lesnar, and Brock attempting to get the title back from Brock Lesnar, is what we see more recent, or what we're seeing, the developing feud, the developing tension, I should say, between those two men exists. The McMahon family and Brock Lesnar exists because Brock Lesnar believes that Brock should not have to give up the world title. I'm gonna cut that. And that. I got an idea. We're gonna go with this. Michael is not the only one interviewing him, so I'm gonna also add that in, and then pull it up to here. Here. Yeah. That works. Let's push it back another segment. Yeah. Because this segment has to do with Miz getting interviewed via satellite by Michael Cole. And you know what? Let me add back that segment that I had earlier with Alicia and Summer Rae and have it with Cesaro and Ryback instead. And let's see. The reason, if you don't know why I added the segments like I did, has to do with the fact that I needed 40% segments, and I need 40% segments. Wait, yeah, 40% segments. I think that's what it is. Give me a second. The match ratio, meaning the ratio between matches and segments, is 40%, and it was above 40%. As you saw, it was at 50 some odd percent for this show. Now I'm also going to book a pre-show match. Not sure what I want to book. So let's book Tyson. You know what? No, let's book Joe Hennig with Ric Flair against... Let's book him against David Otunga on the pre-show. And Joe gets his first win. Just as a way to, test the chemistry between Joe and Flair to make sure that they have good chemistry and stuff like that. Yep, they're neither good nor bad chemistry. And Joe defeats David in the pre-show. Then we jump right to the actual, to the main show with Smackdown, kicking off with John Cena. As Cena taunts Kane, because Kane cost Cena his title shot. His match against Seth Rollins on Monday night on Raw, and not only that, he gave Kane the boot from the tournament. He gave Cena the boot from the tournament. Actually, he knew. Nah. The match against Rollins was not a tournament match because Rollins was not in the tournament anymore. Therefore, it could not be a tournament match. The match tonight is a tournament match, and the main event: John Cena against Kane. One of the top contenders for, other than outside of Dolph Ziggler, one of the top contenders for the Intercontinental title is actually Titus O'Neil, who has been doing quite well thus far this year within ring competition, and put up a solid effort against Dolph, but came up short against the Zigman. And Dolph calls out The Miz to challenge him for a match, but The Miz does not appear. The Miz, or the announcers rather, say that The Miz is not in the arena tonight, but will be featured via satellite later tonight on Smackdown. When we come back from the break, we are given a music video highlighting the eventual in-ring return of Roman Reigns that we will see sometime in the very near future. And now we click over to the next match, which is featuring Jimmy Uso against Big E, part of the New Day. Now, Jimmy and Big E click fine when they're in the ring with Jay and Kofi, or even Xavier and Jay. But apparently, one-on-one, not a good combo. So, what happens right after? A pull-apart brawl between Jimmy, Big E, Xavier, Kofi, and Jay happens right in the middle of the ring, and then eventually a number of officials and security hit the ring as it's a pull-apart, a 6-person pull-apart. which the announcers talk about the tension between the 5 teams in the tournament to crown the new WWE World Tag Team Champions, and how Jimmy and Jay may be letting tension, or the fact that they're not doing up to their standards that they set for themselves against the, in many ways, upstart tag team of Kofi and Big E. And now we move to the Divas contest on the show. Nikki Bella versus Paige, and Nikki wins in somewhat of a solid match for the Divas, as Nikki moves one step closer to becoming WWE Divas Champion. But right after the match, Nikki grabs a mic, and before long, she's taunting both AJ and Natalya, as if you saw last week's episode of Raw. You know that after AJ's match with Emma on Raw, she went off and said that she is the best women's wrestler in WWE, which positioned both Natalya and Paige to come to the ring and dispute AJ's belief of her being the top diva. And now Kane, the director of operations, Kane, comes out to the ring and says that he is sick and tired of the lack of direction. He is sick and tired of no clear-cut champion. Therefore, this Monday night, he is making the number 1 battle royal. The first fatal 4-way of 2 fatal 4-ways involving all top contending divas for a shot to become Divas Champion. It is Nikki versus Naomi versus Natalya versus Paige in a fatal 4-way on Raw. And then he says that there will be another fatal 4-way next week on Smackdown, with the competitors to be announced. And the winner of the fatal 4-way on Raw will face the winner of the fatal 4-way on SmackDown for the WWE Divas Championship at Survivor Series. And now we move to the next match, which is another tag team tournament match. And it includes the newest WWE tag team. And I'm not talking about Diego and Fernando. I am talking about Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, the Motor City Machine Guns. But this match ends in a draw, as the Matadors and Motor City were attacked by Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, the Wyatt family. I apologize, by the way, for the pop. But in a surprisingly good match, the Machine Guns debut against the Matadors, but are interrupted by Harper and Rowan. And then Harper and Rowan take the mic, cut a short promo, a mysterious promo that begs the question, who are they referring to? Could they be, are they referring to Bray Wyatt or another tag team? But what we do know is, number 1, that both the Matadors and the Machine Guns got 1 point in the tournament to crown the new WWE Tag Team Champions. Therefore, they are tied for 3rd place behind the New Age Outlaws and the New Day, who is in first place with 4 points, and the New Age Outlaws in second place with 2 points. But the Matadors and the Machine Guns are on the board. And now, I actually talked about the segment before bringing it up. That's the announcers discuss who exactly Harper and Rowan could be talking about with their promo. But it's clear, one thing is clear, that Harper and Rowan are in the tournament to crown the new WWE Tag Team Champions. And now we slide backstage where Cesaro is walking and bumps into Ryback. They get into a little bit of an argument, and Ryback ends up challenging Cesaro to a match in the ring, and the match is going to happen following the commercial break. And in an upset fashion, Cesaro gets the victory over Ryback via a surprise roll-up, and Cesaro continues his hot streak thus far as the pay-per-view before the season started, Cesaro was on a high momentum-wise, and he continues that high with this surprising defeat of Ryback. And now we slide once again backstage as Kane and Seth Rollins are seen discussing... Oh, jeez. I picked John Cone when I was supposed to pick John Cena. They're not discussing John Cone, they're discussing John Cena. And Rollins makes a point to say that he defeated Cena and that he hopes Kane could do the same. But he's not sure if he could. And now we move to the interview with The Miz, as The Miz pops up on the Titantron, and you see him in front of the Hollywood sign in Hollywood saying that that's the reason why he is not in Minneapolis tonight at the Target Center. He is at an A-list Hollywood party showing off his new hardware. And Michael asks about Dolph Ziggler, and The Miz makes a point to mention that Dolph still does not deserve a shot at his Intercontinental title. After another commercial break, we come back. Bad News Barrett's theme song hits. BNB making his return to the ring after either a wrist injury or a concussion, I don't remember. He issues an open challenge to anyone in the locker room to come out and face Bad News Barrett. And Adam Rose is the one who accepts his challenge. But before the match, Bad News says, "I'm afraid I've got some bad news." And he smacks him right in the face, getting the unfair advantage from the onset. Does Barrett, and Barrett finishes off Adam Rose pretty quickly and pretty academically. Now we move to highlights of Raw, where Brock Lesnar and Triple H came face to face for the first time since their war a few years ago at SummerSlam. But this time, Hunter was the executive trying to give his father-in-law a hand in getting back the WWE World Heavyweight title from the Beast incarnate Brock Lesnar. But that didn't happen, and it also works and we also show what happened, the encounter between Brock and Randy Orton. But now we move to the main event between John Cena and Kane. And though many of you might not be that surprised, John Cena is victorious tonight against the Big Red Machine. But Kane has I have a plan for Kane that will be coming to fruition within the next few months. Or before the end of the year, the plan for Kane will be happening. But either way, John Cena is victorious in the main event tonight. Once again, as you see, I hope you can, that we increased in popularity in 23 regions, but once again lost popularity in 16. A little rough start to the year for WWE, or a rough end to the year in this case, because it's November. But once my direction for the company gets fully established and fully underway, everything will be going smooth. It's just going to take a couple of months. And I have plenty of time to wait. And I hope you do too. But let me know in the comment section below, what was your favorite part of the show? What was your least favorite part of the show? What would you like to see on Raw? What would you like to see next week on Smackdown? And don't forget, next week's episode of Raw is the Go Home edition before Survivor Series. Other than that, don't forget to like, subscribe, all that stuff for more content just like this that you can only find right here at Wrestling Express. Till next time. Later.